The Second Punic War, a clash of titans, 218–201 BCE. The Second Punic War, a monumental clash between Rome and Carthage, stands as one of history's most dramatic and fascinating conflicts. Fought between 218 BCE and 201 BCE, it not only shaped the course of the ancient Mediterranean world, but also gave rise to some of the most legendary stories of courage, strategy, and determination. At its core, this war was more than just a military struggle. It was a battle of ideologies, leadership styles, and civilizations. Let us embark on a journey to understand this epic conflict in vivid detail. The First Punic War and its aftermath. The seeds of the Second Punic War were sown during the First Punic War, 264–41 BCE. This earlier conflict marked the first confrontation between Rome and Carthage, two powerful states with contrasting strengths. Rome, a burgeoning republic with a disciplined army, seeking to expand its influence beyond the Italian peninsula. Carthage, a wealthy maritime empire with a powerful navy, dominating trade across the Mediterranean. The First Punic War ended with Rome's victory, as Carthage lost control of Sicily, its prized possession. Adding insult to injury, Rome later seized Sardinia and Corsica, further humiliating Carthage. To recover from these losses, Carthage turned to Spain, where its general Hannibal Barca, father of Hannibal, began building a new base of power. The wealth and resources of Spain gave Carthage hope for a comeback, but it also drew the attention of Rome, setting the stage for another confrontation. The Siege of Saguntum, 219 BCE, Carthage's expansion into Spain brought it into contact with the city of Saguntum, a Roman ally located south of the Ebro River. According to a treaty between Rome and Carthage, the Ebro River was the boundary of Carthaginian influence. However, in 219 BCE, Hannibal Barca, who had succeeded his father, laid siege to Saguntum. Rome protested, but Hannibal ignored their warnings. When Saguntum fell, Rome declared war on Carthage, igniting the Second Punic War. The genius of Hannibal Barca. At the heart of the Second Punic War was Hannibal Barca, one of the greatest military commanders in history. Born in 247 BCE, Hannibal inherited his father's hatred for Rome. Legend has it that as a child, he swore an oath to his father to be Rome's eternal enemy. This personal vendetta drove his ambition, but it was his unparalleled brilliance on the battlefield that cemented his legacy. Hannibal's bold plan, crossing the Alps to defeat Rome. Hannibal devised an audacious plan to invade Italy by crossing the Alps, a feat no one had dared before. In 218 BCE, Hannibal set out from Spain with an army of 50,000 infantry, 9,000 cavalry, and 37 war elephants. The journey was grueling. The army faced freezing temperatures, treacherous mountain paths, and hostile tribes. By the time Hannibal reached Italy, his force was greatly diminished, but his sheer determination and tactical genius remained intact. The war in Italy. Hannibal's triumphs. The Battle of Trebia, 218 BCE. Hannibal's first major victory in Italy came at the Battle of Trebia. Using cunning tactics, he lured the Roman army into an ambush. Roman soldiers, unprepared and hungry after being forced to cross a freezing river, were easily defeated. Hannibal's use of his cavalry to encircle the enemy was a masterstroke, showcasing his innovative approach to warfare. The Battle of Lake Trasimene, 217 BCE. In 217 BCE, Hannibal struck again at Lake Trasimene, where he executed one of the greatest ambushes in military history. Exploiting the terrain, he concealed his army in the hills surrounding the lake. As the Roman army marched along the narrow path, Hannibal's forces attacked, trapping the Romans between the lake and the hills. The result was a catastrophic defeat for Rome, with thousands of soldiers killed or captured. The Battle of Cannae, 216 BCE, Hannibal's masterpiece. The Battle of Cannae is often regarded as Hannibal's finest hour. Facing a Roman army twice the size of his own, Hannibal employed a brilliant tactic, the double envelopment. As the Romans pushed forward, Hannibal's troops gradually retreated, forming a crescent. Meanwhile, his cavalry attacked the Roman flanks and rear, surrounding the entire Roman army. The result was a massacre. Over 50,000 Roman soldiers were killed in a single day. Cannae remains a textbook example of tactical genius and is still studied in military academies worldwide. Rome's resilience. Adapting to Hannibal despite suffering devastating losses, Rome refused to surrender. Under the leadership of Quintus Fabius Maximus, the Romans adopted the Fabian strategy, avoiding direct confrontations with Hannibal and instead focusing on harassing his supply lines. This approach earned Fabius the nickname Cunctator, the delayer. Though criticized at the time, the strategy bought Rome the time it needed to rebuild its strength. The turning point, Scipio Africanus. While Hannibal ravaged Italy, Rome found a rising star in Publius Cornelius Scipio, later known as Scipio Africanus. Scipio recognized that Hannibal's strength lay in his ability to sustain his campaign through support from Carthage and Spain. To cut off this support, Scipio launched a bold campaign in Spain, defeating the Carthaginian forces there and capturing their strongholds. With Spain under Roman control, Scipio set his sights on Africa. The invasion of North Africa in 204 BCE, Scipio landed in North Africa, threatening Carthage itself. This forced Carthage to recall Hannibal from Italy to defend his homeland. The stage was set for the final showdown between two of history's greatest military minds. The final battle, Zama, 202 BCE, the decisive battle of the Second Punic War took place at Zama in 202 BCE. Unlike in previous battles, Rome had the advantage. Scipio had trained his troops to counter Hannibal's war elephants, which were a key component of the Carthaginian army. When Hannibal's elephants charged, the Roman forces created lanes, allowing the elephants to pass harmlessly through. Scipio's disciplined army then launched a coordinated attack, defeating Hannibal decisively. Carthage was forced to surrender, marking the end of the Second Punic War. Aftermath. The rise of Rome and the fall of Carthage. The Second Punic War had far-reaching consequences. 1. Rome's dominance. Rome emerged as the undisputed superpower of the Mediterranean, laying the foundation for its empire. Carthage was reduced to a minor state, forced to pay a heavy indemnity and surrender its navy. 2. Hannibal's legacy. Although defeated, Hannibal's campaigns left an indelible mark on military history. His tactics influenced countless generals, from Napoleon to modern strategists. 3. The path to the Third Punic War. The humiliation of Carthage sowed the seeds for another conflict, leading to the Third Punic War, 149–146 BCE, which resulted in Carthage's complete destruction. Why the Second Punic War matters. The Second Punic War was more than a military conflict. It was a clash of civilizations, ideologies, and personalities. It showcased the brilliance of two legendary leaders, Hannibal, the audacious risk-taker, and Scipio Africanus, the master of strategy and discipline. It also demonstrated the resilience of Rome, which, despite suffering catastrophic defeats, refused to bow to adversity. This war laid the foundation for Rome's transformation from a regional power to a world empire, shaping the course of Western civilization. The lessons of the Second Punic War, about leadership, strategy, and the power of perseverance, continue to resonate to this day.